So may I know your name, please?
I am Deepak.
Okay.
And I'm from Bihar.
Okay.
However, I stay in Delhi for my bread and butter.
Okay. You're presently staying in Delhi.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what brings you to Klepingo?
Because I want to enhance my communication.
Mm-hmm. And you have studied in a Hindi medium school?
Yes.
It becomes very difficult for a person to express himself in the language, and especially in English language, if you have not studied in an English medium school. Because in an English, when you are studying in your school years, those are your formative years when you actually develop your understanding and expression in the language. So when it comes to Hindi, you are able to do it very easily, right? You don't have any problem. So, but when it comes to English, you have a problem in thinking the right words. In when you are speaking, you have so many things in your mind in Hindi, but it becomes difficult to translate it and translate it and say it in English. So, and that becomes very embarrassing. Now you're working in which area?
I'm a fitness expert.
Oh, so in this particular field, you might be dealing with a lot of clients on your daily basis. You're working in Delhi?
Yes.
Then without English, that might be a very big problem. Right? You need to speak to so many clients. You need to explain how you're good. You need to explain various exercising techniques, and because constantly you're dealing with so many clients on a daily basis, on phone and in person. So it is very, very important for you to have a very good command in English. And on top of that, you have to be very confident. Right. And the most important skill, Deepak, which you need to have is that is your communication skills have to be very good.
True.
See, on a personal basis, you might be whichever kind of person you are. See, a person might be an extrovert or an introvert. So, your basic nature can be anything. But when it comes to your profession, you leave your basic nature at your home and you are a different person altogether.
Right.
In your workplace. You have to mold yourself according to your work and your, the demand of your work, right? So first of all, you need to, most of my students always say that we don't have anyone to speak in English, and how do we master this language? Just answer me a simple question that when you were a small child, you learned Hindi in one day? No, right? You learned Hindi after you heard your mother speaking, your relatives speaking, your parents and everyone. And in a matter of say 3 or 4 years, 3 years, in fact, the child learns how to speak complete, understandable sentences, right? So, and no parent ever says, okay, he gives a book to a child, a 2-year-old boy, and he says, okay, kitab le lo, and then you can learn how to speak the language. No, right?
Right.
It is all about listening skills. It is all about listening and understanding. That is the first major step, which you already have, that skill of listening and understanding. Now, when it is coming to speaking, you have to surround yourself with more and more English. See more and more English movies, see more and more videos whenever you have free time, and surround yourself with the language in such a way which is interesting to you. Deepak, just try to understand this very important thing. When I tell students or anyone tells students, okay, this is the way you have to learn how to master the language. If they watch videos, if supposing a person like me who likes to watch Bollywood movies or interesting English suspense movies, and anyone says, okay, go and watch Nat Geo, I will not watch. Sometimes if my mood is there that I want some information, I'm sitting, after I'm having this mood to gather some knowledge. So I will put on the Nat Geo channel, but most of the time for entertainment, I'm there with Bollywood. And Bollywood and Hollywood, even in Hollywood, there are a lot of movies where, you have to see that whether when you start seeing the movie, make a point that the English you are able to understand. They speak very fast English. So that English, what I'm saying is that you need to be exposing yourself to that kind of audios which are interesting. Now, if you are a fitness person, you would want to watch YouTube videos which are in relation to fitness, and movies which are of your interest. Everyone has their own set of movies which is of their interest. Maybe action movies, maybe romantic movies, whichever kind of movies. The interest factor, Deepak, maintain it. Whether you're reading something in English, magazines, newspapers, it is that a conscious effort of absorbing and surrounding yourself with English will make a huge difference in your reproduction of that language. Give yourself in a day 1 hour. Okay, this is the time. Okay, and when you come back from work, you're so tired. What you can do is, you don't want to read anything. You just want to switch on an English movie and watch it. And during the day, when you are in the gym and there is some break time, just switch on a YouTube video, put on your earphones and see and hear. Okay, a lot of podcasts are there, a lot of other things are there. So my basic, the summary or, the conclusion of what I'm telling you is, the more English, the more you are surrounding yourself with English, the better your mind will reproduce that language. Speaking is an essential part, but mind absorption of that language makes learning of that language and reproduction of that language. First of all, you will have very good vocabulary because you're reading newspapers, and even your phone is so handy to learn English. You can read news apps and, search anything on Google, expose yourself to a lot of English content, and come to me for more classes where I usually, for basic vocabulary development, I do a lot of activities with my students. Vocabulary development, I make them read a news article, and from the news article, I ask them, okay, what are the difficult words in this article? And then I tell them the meaning, and then the student has to reproduce that article in his own words, verbally. So this develops their confidence, their vocabulary, and their understanding, all three together. And I also do a lot of mock exercises with my students, where, I can be a person who wants to join your gym. And I'm saying, okay, suggest what exercises are right for me. So you have to convince me that I want to train from you. Okay, so various other exercises, various other situational conversations we will be having. So this way it becomes very easy, because I'm doing specific practical exercises with you, Deepak, so that it is very relevant in your day-to-day life. All right. Now let us start our conversation. Now these are the tips which I've given you. Now let us start our discussion. Have you taken other Clapingo classes from other tutors?
Yeah.
Okay. So they might have involved you in discussions?
Yes.
Yes. So I was, basically my technique is that first I understand the student's need, and then after that I go to his, this discussion part. Yeah. Okay. So let us start. Just give me a moment. What would you like to discuss about?
I'm sorry?
What would you like to discuss about?
Anything you can ask or we can discuss.
Okay. So would you like to discuss about your childhood?
Yeah, go ahead.
Everyone gets, when you ask anyone about their childhood, a smile comes on their face, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
That is,
yeah. There are so many, activity, okay, memories are,
related to our childhood.
resonant with,
Yes, many memories are
resonant.
related to our childhood, and many things are there, which you feel that in our childhood. Now, as adults, maximum number of adults say that the best time that we lived was our childhood. That is that phase of childhood. I don't know whether it is true for you.
Yeah, every person had different, perception for their life. So, right.
So, what is your
And
qualification?
I'm graduate from English honors.
From English honors. That is why when I heard that vocabulary of perception, so I could understand that your education is somewhere related to English. Then why did you go in for spoken English? You're not so confident?
I'm lacking confidence, and I have sentence formation problem, grammatical problem.
But being an English honors graduate, how come you have a problem?
No, if someone is done with, they have done with graduation with English, that does not mean they are expert in English. I'm from rural background, okay, and
from
even
which rural background?
Yeah, of course, and there are so many colleges, okay, without looking after students, marks. If they want to go for science, if they want to go for math, they can take admission without any checking marks. Okay, past marks. So yeah.
So you mean to say the level of English honors in Bihar is not as good as it is in other universities?
Yes,
I've got it.
I'm not talking about only the college, different college, maybe different college, different university they have, but the university from where I am, right? They just which honors you wanna do? I wanna do science, math, this. Okay, let's go take admission, right? So that things happen.
So I'm giving you a choice. Do you want to talk about spirituality or childhood? There are two choices.
Let's talk about spirituality.
Okay. I think that's a very interesting topic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Most of my students really enjoy talking about spirituality.
Really?
Yes, they enjoy talking about it. Everyone.
I think these days, youngsters are not interested in spirituality, I think.
Younger students?
Yeah, younger students.
I'm not talking of younger people.
Okay.
I'm talking of, I have had this discussion with I think 4 or 5 students, but being a spiritual person myself, I enjoy speaking on this topic a lot. And the feedback which I get, the response which I get from the students is very good. And every time I learn new things from my students. So I'm like, a person who likes to learn from my students and understand their viewpoint. And okay, this is your viewpoint about spirituality. Then that is how you exchange. Your knowledge increases, right?
Of course.
Okay. Now there is this thing, be one's spiritual home, to be an ideal place or setting for one to live happily. Now there are two attitudes towards spirituality. First of all, what does spirituality mean to you?
Spirituality means your goal, your dream, everything to achieving God.
Not achieving, to being close to God.
Being close or achieving whatever God asks, people to do. On God, you are running your life on God guidance.
In the sense?
In the sense, God has given, the knowledge, a person must live the life, like, Understand?
No. 1 minute.
There is a law.
You are trying to say something, Deepak, but the words are not right. So it's like God has given us has given us this life. He has created us, and He has given us knowledge. That is what you want to say?
Yes, God has given so many knowledge. Okay,
not so many. God has granted us with lot of knowledge.
In scriptures, and the knowledge which comes from scriptures, those knowledge and those rules.
That is the knowledge. No, yeah. The knowledge which comes from the scriptures,
those are from God. Okay, and there are so many ways. Okay, God has asked people should live the life the way God wants to live the life, right?
Okay.
So if an individual is following that way, what God asking you to do after coming on this planet, what you should not do, what you should do. Okay, if you are following that all way, those all knowledge, wisdom, that is called spiritualism.
You mean to say spirituality, which is there in our scriptures, our Vedas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, that is, they teach you the ideal way of life.
Ideal way of life, right?
Ideal way of life. So that is spirituality according to you.
Yes.
So what about your soul?
I mean, what? What about?
There is something which is your soul. There is something which is very deeper, very much more deeper than, following an ideal life. If you are very pure inside and your soul is very pure and you're very connected to God and you're very kind-hearted, so that is, I feel, which is real spirituality. When you have deep faith in God and you have complete trust in God, that is spirituality. That is, you feel so connected. You feel that you don't need anyone. You don't even need a friend. You don't need anyone else. You have God. You have God as your best friend.
True. Everything is God. What I in the beginning of the sentence conversation, what I said, your only goal is to achieve God. You go close to God, right? As you said, only one goal. Not I have to make this amount of money. I have to acquire.
Then Deepak, you need to frame your sentence better. Okay, spirituality means that spirituality means that when a person is able to have that proximity, if you can use better language, or if a person is very close to God, he has the closeness towards God, not achieving God. See, God is when there are people who have different opinions and different ways how they define God. Someone says that God is there. Someone says God is not there. So someone says he's in the idol. Someone says he's not in the idol. So I'm saying for you are saying that spirituality means that when you achieve the complete faith in God. That's the better sentence.
Okay.
So can you say that sentence? Do you agree with what I'm saying?
Agree. I whatever I said from Bhagavad Gita. I just before the class I was going through Bhagavad Gita, right? And the speaker was saying I was watching Bhagavad Gita. If you have interest, you can go through Modh Leela Prabhuji. Okay, he's from ISKCON, and he's saying a human being should only one goal to achieve Krishna faith or Krishna. You don't need honor. Okay. Material things like I need to achieve a good amount of money. I have to get this house, that car. Okay, that's factory. No, you have to achieve your only one goal should be, and that is Krishna. Whether you go close to him, whether you are running your life on his guidance, the way he asked, in Mahabharata, Kurukshetra to do, that is a true way of living life.
Okay. I agree with you. So, do you think it is related to religion, spirituality?
Really? Yeah, of course. I think
How do you think so?
because religion means I am connected to Krishna, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I have 100% belief in Krishna,
Mm-hmm.
right? And someone from Christian, okay, they have 100% belief faith in their uh, Christ, right? So they follow their own God or whatever. They don't accept Krishna.
Okay, I agree with your viewpoint, and that is your thought process. That yes, religion is related to spirituality. So, like you feel that when you're closer to Krishna, you're closer to God, and your inner peace you get. A lot of inner peace you get. That is, your soul gets a lot of peace from your connection with God. So that is what is spirituality for you. But and what I feel, as far as my own opinion, that is in religion, for humans in early times, they could not see God, but they knew that there was a power. There was nature, and there were these natural forces like the wind, the rain, the harsh sun, and the storms, and lots of things they saw. So they thought that nature is God. So, and even animals, which they, like we say, even hum abhi bhi kehte hain na, we say the cow, we pray to the cow as we, because she gives us milk. So even she is holy for us. So in the same way, in that, what I feel is that we have given God a human incarnation, that is a human face. It becomes easier to relate that if we are thinking of God in a human form, we can talk to him as a friend, we can relate to him. Yes, he is a power, he is a natural universal power, but we give him a human face, it becomes easier. So that is where the birth of religion started. So when in an area everyone prayed to God in the form of Krishna, so they called him God. Okay, some people prayed to him as Jesus Christ, they called him God. In the same way, there was some area where they called him Allah, they called him God. So like that way, different religions were formed. So these areas had different rules and regulations according to their religions. Ultimately, there is one God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Agreed?
Yeah, true.
Okay, who is your favorite spiritual leader?
I talk Amod Leela Prabhuji. Amod Leela Prabhuji.
Believe in it depends on my interest, but whenever there is any spiritual talk by any Guruji, I do listen to him. And but on a personal level, I feel that for me to connect with God, I don't need a spiritual leader. I am connected with God on my own. So I don't need a mediator. I don't need someone to connect me with God. So that faith has been formed right from my childhood.